Rode has released the wireless Me microphone system, and we've got to talk about it. My name is Patrick, and I help regular everyday creators like you and me level up our content. And one way we can improve our content instantly is by making our audio sound better. You see, so many of us go out there and try to make our video look better by purchasing fancy lenses and cameras, which is great, but we forget that we already have a high definition camera in our pocket. Most of us are carrying around a phone with a high definition camera. And if I sit in front of a window that's well lit during the day and I point my iPhone at my face, it's going to create a good looking image. But if your audio sounds like trash, people will click away from your video. So what do? Am I saying that we have to go out there and spend thousands on microphones? Well, no. You see, over the past couple of years, companies have been releasing these really easy to use but feature-rich microphone systems. Deity makes one, Rode makes one, DJI makes one, and I have some suggestions and I have some favorites, but I don't want you to break the bank, and neither does Rode, which is why they released the wireless Me system. Now, starting now, I'm going to take this little transmitter. This is the microphone right here. I could plug a lavalier mic into it for a little bit of an improved sound, but this mic right here I can strap right onto my collar, and I have a microphone that I'm using for content. And starting now, this is the only audio you are going to hear going forward, because if this thing doesn't sound good, you're not going to buy it, right? So we want to make sure it sounds good, but I also want to talk to you about some of the great features that I think make this microphone really interesting. Now, if you've been paying attention, Rode was the first company to make a splash in the scene with a product like this when they released the Rode Wireless Go. Tiny little transmitter or a microphone and a tiny little receiver that could plug into anything like your audio console, your camera, your phone, your iPad, a field recorder. It was amazing. But then they one-upped themselves by releasing the Rode Wireless Go 2. Now, this is still a great system. Not only does it have a receiver, but it has 2 transmitters. And those transmitters don't only send wireless audio signal to the receiver, they also record a backup audio track of whatever you have that microphone strapped to the mic itself. It's a tiny little field recorder. Now, the Rode Wireless Go no longer exists. The Rode Wireless Me has replaced it. And there are some differences between the Rode Wireless Me and the Rode Wireless Go 2. We should not think of the Rode Wireless Me as a diet version of the Rode Wireless Go 2. There are actually some differences that set these two systems apart. And as you're making the decision of which one to buy, I really want to give you some hints or some pointers on what you might want to consider before you go out there on Amazon and swipe your credit card. First things first, let's talk about price. The Rode Wireless Me comes in at $150. Everything you need in one package. It even comes with a nice little carrying case and every cable you need to plug this into almost any device. Now, the Rode Wireless Go 2 comes in 2 models. The single receiver, single microphone model, which is $200, or the single receiver and 2 transmitter, 2 microphone model, which is $300. So to get your foot in the door, you need $150. And from there it goes $150, Rode Wireless Me, $200, Rode Wireless Go 2, or $300 for the Rode Wireless Go 2, which includes 2 transmitters. One major difference between the Rode Wireless Go 2 models and the Rode Wireless Me models is the ability to change settings on the microphone. With the Rode Wireless Go 2, you have the ability to see on a tiny little screen on the receiver gain levels and some different mode settings and things like that, where as to change settings on the Wireless Me, you actually have to plug it into a computer or into a phone or an iPad and use the Rode apps to make changes. And while you can change a lot of settings with the Rode Wireless Go 2, you can only change a few settings with the Wireless Me. Now, it's wonderful to use these Rode apps like Rode Connect, but if you're sitting there in the middle of a shoot or in the middle of recording a video like this and you realize you need to change a setting, to unplug everything and plug it into your computer or into your phone, or if you're out in the field and you need to make a change and you don't have your computer and you need to use your phone and you don't have the right dongle to plug the Wireless Me into your phone, that's frustrating. The settings you can change using the Rode apps, amazing. I love that functionality where you can update firmware, change settings, all within these great, easy to use apps. But the fact that you can't change quick settings on the wireless Me just using the transmitter or using the receiver itself, it's going to become a frustration. That being said, when I purchased a Rode Wireless Go 2, and now that I've purchased a Rode Wireless Me, very little settings for me needed to be changed. I open the box, I make the settings that I want, I press record, and I haven't changed them since. For someone who loves to fiddle around with their equipment and their gear, this will, however, become a frustration. Let's talk about build quality. I wouldn't give the Wireless Go 2 or the Wireless Me a 10 out of 10 on build quality. There are parts of these microphone systems that are plasticky or even flimsy. I would give a better score to a system like the DJI mic, not to the mics and transmitters themselves, but the fact that that system comes in a hard shell case, which also charges the devices, makes it win out for me. Now, don't get me wrong, both Rode systems, I've never felt like I was going to break them. I'm just saying they would break easier than other systems. That being said, the Rode Wireless Go 2 does have more of a sturdy feel to it. They definitely save some cost by making the Wireless Me with more plastic than metal. And that shouldn't deter you, but if you're planning on beating up these systems, it's something you need to know.
Fragile. It must be Italian.
Like I said, the Wireless Go 2 has a longer list of settings that you can change, making it more customizable to whatever setting you are using the microphone system in, whereas the Wireless Me doesn't have a ton of settings you can change, but there's one thing that they have added to the Wireless Me that you will not find on the Wireless Go 2, and that's gain assist. There are two types of creators: those who like to have complete control over their sound, their video, their settings, and those who just say, I want the gear to do the work for me. And gain assist is one of those features that does the work for you. In short, gain assist in real time analyzes the audio coming in to your transmitter or your microphone and adjusts the levels in real time to make sure that they are consistent and that nothing is peaking or essentially sounding terrible. And there are three settings for gain assist. There's off, which does nothing. There's auto, which is supposed to be used in a really chaotic environment. I think like New York City streets, where your transmitter might be passing by a speeding cab or coming close to someone's face in an interview and then pulling away. And then dynamic is meant to be used in a more controlled environment like this small YouTube studio office that I'm in right now. Gain assist works great, but what it tells me is that the Wireless Me has been designed for creators who want to plug this mic into their phone, into their iPad, into their camera, press record, and not have to worry at all. If you are someone who's already used to editing your audio and really making it as crispy as you want, the Wireless Me may not be for you. But if you're someone who's a content creator who's like, man, I'm already doing great, I just want my audio to sound better, what mic should I buy? Buy the Wireless Me, plug it in, you're gonna be good to go.
3 words for you: treat yourself.
Now, I've already mentioned that the Rode Wireless Go 2 comes with a receiver and 2 transmitters if you buy the $300 model, but you can also use the Wireless Me with 2 microphones because the receiver itself, the piece that plugs into your camera or your phone, also has a microphone attached to it that you can enable. Now, why is this important? If I'm shooting like this and my microphone is on someone I am interviewing, and my receiver is here plugged into my phone, that receiver points at my face, meaning a microphone points at my face while I'm filming. So I'm recording the audio of whoever I'm interviewing or filming, and the audio that I'm saying as I'm asking questions is hitting that receiver and being recorded. Is it a true microphone that can be tossed around? No, it needs to be plugged into something. It's your receiver. But giving you that functionality where the interviewer is also being heard, it's kind of a special feature that you won't find on the Rode Wireless Go 2 because the Rode Wireless Me is meant for those who plug right into a device, start recording, and just want to hear everything without having to change a bunch of settings. You can also pair other Rode wireless systems to the Rode Wireless Me. Now, I think this is important because many people are gonna go out there and say, 150 bucks for a Rode Wireless mic system? Yeah, sign me up. And then realize they want to expand on that system's capabilities. That's great because you can go out and buy a Rode Wireless Go 2 system and pair it to the Rode Wireless Me, giving you additional microphones. Now, I feel like this is something that's just kind of like an extra feature that not many people are gonna use, but it does exist, and I appreciate Rode putting it there. I think we're beginning to see that the Wireless Me has some standalone features that make it a special product. It's not just a small version of the Wireless Go 2, but there are some things it doesn't include that make me lean towards the Rode Wireless Go 2 if I was making a purchase today. And the major one that really stands out is internal recording. The Rode Wireless Me does not have the ability to record internally. It's one of the ways they probably saved a ton of money on research and development. But with the Rode Wireless Go 2, not only are you given a transmitter or 2 transmitters and a receiver where those transmitters send audio to the receiver, but as they're sending audio to the receiver, which is plugged into your camera, your console, whatever, those transmitters are recording a backup internally. And this has saved me tons of times when something has been messed up in the process and I forget to push record on my console, I forget to push plug in the cable on my camera. I've got that backup internal recording onto the microphones themselves. That's something that should have been included on the Rode Wireless Me. And it's a major, major difference between the two systems.
Wow.
Now, I've used the Rode Wireless Go 2 for years and I love it. But new purchasers out there that are buying their first microphone system are thinking, well, which one is right for me? Rode Wireless Me or Rode Wireless Go 2? With a $50 difference, those extra features on the Rode Wireless Go 2, including internal backup recording, for me, make it an obvious choice. I don't think the Wireless Me is bad by any means, but if you're only looking at a $50 difference, save a few more dollars and go with the Rode Wireless Go 2. And if you really want to go crazy, spend $300 on the Rode Wireless Go 2 with the 1 receiver and 2 transmitters that have that backup internal recording and all of those extra settings that you can play around with to make your mic sound great and function the way you want. But if you're really interested in taking your audio journey like a little bit further, you should watch this video.